emotional. I didn't, and I was like reading the script. Well, I don't know if he has to get that emotional there, but he wanted to go there. And I remember talking to him, and he just got there. And he just really focused and found it within the character and within himself, and brought it out. And for the one of his scenes, and it was just magical to see, because someone I don't know if he thought he couldn't do it at first or not, but he truly just bring it. And it's fun for me to see as an actor. I love actors. I mean, I'm a fan of true actors, so of all of them. Anyone that was a true actor, I got your back.
Right.
They're my peers.
Who would you like to work with next that you haven't worked with? Like maybe one of your idols or something.
First name pops in my head is Ben Foster. I hope you guys know who he is. I'll be really sad if you don't.
I'm the type that don't always know names. I know faces or what they've been in, and then I look them up and see who they are.
Yeah, Ben Foster. He's got a movie coming out with Casey Affleck. I forgot the title coming up, but he's been in like 3:10 to Yuma with Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. If you saw that movie, 3:10 to Yuma, he plays Charlie Prince.
Okay, I'm looking at his face now. I do recognize him.
So many movies, The Messenger. I mean, he's just an actor I watch, and he's amazing. Every time he steals any scene he's in. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, another one. Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, I can go on and on. But first name that pops in my head would be Ben Foster. He's the number one on my list. I just want to go tear something up with that guy in the scene.
What we need to do is get the podcast to him then. Let him listen to it.
That'd be cool if he can hear it.
Yeah. We can tweet it to him for sure. And just speaking of actors, I just watched Cold Water and this movie Events. I just watched like a screening of it, and it was a great movie. But the lead actor, PJ, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I was so impressed by this guy, and I went up to him afterwards, and I just wanted to give him props as just actor to actor, because he really, really owned that character, and it was a movie that I wanted to do. I couldn't do it due to scheduling, but he was phenomenal. So he's another guy that just came on my list to work with, because he was so pleasant in person too. I was like, but yeah, him and Ben Foster. Bring it on. Let's do it.
Well, are they on Twitter? We can tweet them and send them the link to the show.
Ben Foster. I don't know, PJ and Ben. I don't know.
Well, there's your little bit of homework after the show. Find out if they're on Twitter, and we'll tweet it to them.
I'm trying to get better at Twitter. People always tell me to tweet more. I'm like, I'm more of a retweeter. I'm trying to get into that whole lingo. I did a lot with Night Visitor, because Mark, and trying to do the promotional thing. But I'll get better at Twitter. I'll figure it out.
Well, thankfully you did some at all, because otherwise I wouldn't have known who you were as far as being in the Night Visitor. So there you go.
Yeah, it worked out. I remember that. I was like, what did Brianne and Mark and Night Visitor have in common? And the first thing I thought was like, well, they love me. I'm sure they do. So. Through that, I was just always trying to be funny, get a laugh out of someone, so it worked a little bit, I guess.
It did. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Yeah. Awesome.
And Jennifer even asked the day that I was interviewing them if you were going to call in. I was like, no, but he says you love him.
Yeah, I listened to it. I was laughing. I did give it a listen.
Oh, did you?
I did. I was sitting in the desert, and then I was listening on my phone. I was just like playing it, and I thought it was great. I was laughing because you brought it up, and I was like, "That's awesome." Crazy.
Yeah, me with my horrendous cold that I had. I'm still getting over it, so I sound more nasally than I normally do for a Chicagoan. But that day I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't sound horrid." It was a struggle to get through. It was a last minute, hey, want to come on my show and promote it? Maybe you'll get some more people that'll, donate. So hopefully that worked out for them.
Yeah, they reached their goal. I was watching last minutes for them, and they exceeded it. I was like, wow. It was scary for a moment. I remember going a week later or a week before it ended. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work.
They were quite a bit a ways, and then even probably the last, maybe last couple hours or something, they still hadn't reached it. And then boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, here comes all this money, and then it was still going. There was like 15 minutes to go, and I think they had, maybe $3,000 more or $4,000 more than what they needed. So I was really happy about that.
Yeah, I was too, because I really got to admire Jen. I mean, I liked her anyway, but just to admire her work ethic, and Mark Gant. He's just a guy that I met through that process, and he's one of my favorite people I've ever met. And I'm not even just saying that. I just respect him completely as just a man and a filmmaker, actor, producer. For some reason, I just feel like if Mark Gant says it's good, or he says that's the way to do it, then I say you should do that. I just feel like you can't go wrong if Mark Gant says yes. I just truly feel that way.
I'm sure he likes you too, like that.
Oh, he loves me. I know it.
You guys will work together again, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Now,
sure.
I know we're getting to the top of the hour, and I have asked all my questions, but Sabina, Miss Quiet today, has some fun questions for you. So hit them up.
Well, the first thing I was curious about, because I know you've talked about all the people that you'd like to work with that you haven't worked with, and it sounds like you've worked with a lot of great people so far already, and I wanted to know who have you worked with already that has left a lasting impression on you?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a great question. So tough. Literally, like I've seen about 5 faces pop in my head at that same moment, because I've been so fortunate to work with the people I've worked with. It can't really just be one, so I can briefly just say, obviously, I just worked with Brad Dourif on an extensive level. It wasn't just 1 or 2 scenes. I mean, we went toe-to-toe for quite a bit, and he's a guy I studied, and he was so cool with me. To work with a legendary actor like Brad Dourif is, you would ask me 2 years ago how to work with him, I would have just said, I don't know if that'll ever be possible. So him, I got to bring up Kim Coates. I met him on Hurrah, Wanted, and we just bonded. I mean, he was a guy that really talked with me, really cares about his craft. I learned so much from him. He wasn't a guy that wanted to stay out late and party. He was a guy that really took his craft seriously. And at the end of the day, I'd rather be known for that than this wild animal, and I admired him for that. We were out in Bulgaria filming Hurrah, Wanted, and here's a serious actor, Kim Coates. I mean, he was just amazing. So he pops in my head as just everlasting impressions, him and Brad Dourif, big time.
Sounds like you're definitely one of those actors, a serious actor, and I really admire your acting ability and your craft and your attitude towards it all, and that makes me a big fan of yours already, even though I haven't seen anything of yours yet, which I will be watching. I will be looking up all these, especially the new ones that are coming out, but I'll definitely
watch
look back.
the new ones. You only watch the new ones.
So if there was a movie made of your life, who would you want to play you?
Who would I want to play me? Wow. That has to be Ben Foster. If I would have passed away today and someone to make an interesting story about my life, Ben Foster. Definitely.
All right. And what is your hidden talent?
Ooh, wow. I don't know. I don't know my hidden talent. Mind reading? I don't know. I feel like I can read minds. I really do. I feel like I feel that's my hidden talent. I don't know if how accurate it is. Maybe I'm delusional half the time. But I honestly feel if I'm by someone and I have eye contact with them, male, female, especially females, I feel like I can read their mind.
Oh, well, you definitely need to come to Atlanta and have your premiere and see if you can read my mind. That would be interesting to test that theory out. And I've got to say, I think from how you've answered a couple of questions, how you said something pops in your head just at that moment, I think that is a good talent too.
Yeah. Instincts.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. And if you could relive any 30 minutes of your life, what would it be?
Ooh. Man, you got some good questions.
And these are the fun questions.
Makes me think. Wow. There's so many. Definitely has to be with my son, though. It's just, any just fun time with him is really kind of it. If I had to choose something, it's kind of that. It was exciting for him to come to the set when he met Brad Dourif, because he's seen Chucky, the voice of Chucky, and obviously kids aren't supposed to watch that, but my kid has, and so him meeting Brad Dourif, him coming to set and just kind of being fascinated by what I do and seeing it is kind of interesting for me. Kind of, I don't know, gives me a little smile.
How old is he?
He just turned 8 last week.
So he kind of understands what's going on then.
He's actually going to be in Monumental too.
Oh, cool.
Great.
He's done a couple little things, but he's going to, play a little boy. Be just playing around, simple stuff, but you'll see him. He'll be throughout. You come to know.
Ah, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
So, one last question. What was your first car, and what tales would it tell?
My first car. What was it? It was a V5 Chevy Camaro.
So was mine.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Your first
that was
car?
My favorite car. Still is,
Was
actually,
it
to this day.
Was it white?
No, it was purple.
Oh, yeah, that was mine. It
was purple and rust, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't take it through the car wash, so.
Yeah, I kept mine cleaner than I do now. But yeah, I don't know. It would tell some stories of high school, shenanigans for sure. Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know how to get in detail, but it would. It'd have some speeding tickets. It'd have a couple, just loud music. I mean, it is very, very sporadic, spontaneous shenanigans going on with that vehicle.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, just like any other high school person, Yeah,
it was. It was riding the fine line of danger, pretty much.
Right.
I'm curious about one other thing. It has none of these fun questions, but you were saying you were from Modesto, and that's pretty close to Sacramento. Am I remembering this correctly?
Yeah, it's about 60 miles or so. I mean, I'm not from there. I lived there. I moved there when I was 7 years old, and I lived there for about 3.5 years, and then moved to Huntington Beach, California, where I still am now.
Okay. Because I grew up in Sacramento. I was in Sacramento from kindergarten through 7th grade, actually.
Wow. So. Yeah, I'm up there a lot. So it's just a nice area. Like was it in the Thomas area and all that, Roseville area, just up north. It's a pretty nice area.
Mm-hmm. And that's why she doesn't have that Atlanta twang, because she's been all over. So.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I go, I don't know, but I always have a little bitterness with Sacramento because I'm a big Lakers fan, and there's those Kings there that we've had some rivalry with. So when I go there, I feel like I got to throw on a jersey, just like a fan. I don't know what it is. I feel like I got to let everyone know I'm in LA. I don't know what it is. It's like the sports in me only. It's not anything else. It's like, And it's all out of good nature, but it's just one of those rivalries that I feel like I shouldn't be there. I feel like I'm on like enemy territory when I'm over there.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not a big sports fanatic anyway, so it's not going to hurt my feelings in any way.
Well, I have to say that I'm a big hockey fan, so of course I root for my Blackhawks, and Twitter is a mess when it comes to. The Blackhawks are playing the LA Kings right now, and oh my gosh, the war between them two is so funny. I don't get in the middle of it. I just they got a goal, they scored, yay Blackhawks, and I just kind of keep it to myself.
I don't really follow hockey much, but I did see the Blackhawks were doing well. I didn't know they're playing the Kings. So that's wow. I guess I can root for the Blackhawks for you, because